Hey word nerds, happy Monday, it's Kelly here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently. For 2018, I have fully immersed myself in the world of bullet journaling. I am completely addicted to the point where I actually have two different bullet journals, one for keeping track of my life, and this one that I'm going to show you today, which is all about my writing. I set this up as a way to keep track of different projects, my word counts, my achievements, and basically all of the writing things that I knew would take up so much space in my actual bullet journal, and I wanted to be able to kind of keep this going for as long as possible. So on this first page, you'll see kind of a history of my word counts for the last 3 years, and then I'll go in and fill it in with my 2018 word count. And then on the other page is my at least one word a day tracker, where I will be filling in one of the boxes every single day to kind of figure out how many words I wrote every day, and that way at the end of the year I can kind of look back and see how I did word count wise. This is based on the mood tracker thing that you see in a lot of standard bullet journals where you kind of look back on your mood for the whole year. So I thought this would be a fun way to track word counts. If you aren't sure what bullet journals are, they are notebooks that you can basically turn into your own perfectly personalized planner. A lot of them, like the one you see in this video, are based on a very light dot grid, but you can really do it with any kind of notebook. You fill in your plans and your goals and all kinds of lists for weeks and months, and treating it kind of like a calendar, planner, whatever you want it to be, hybrid. What I'm showing you here today is my setup for all of the 2018 stuff that I want to be able to access year round, and then like other bullet journals, I'm going to go a month by month setup, or maybe even a quarterly setup to track more specific targets. But for now, these are all of the resources that I want to be able to access year round. I may end up adding more of them, but for now, these are the ones I thought of at the very beginning. I put in two different types of story structures here because I want to be able to access them as I'm plotting different stories. I put the 3-act story structure and the 8-point arc, which are both ones that I really like, just kind of covering basic points you want to be able to hit in all of your stories. Please excuse my absolutely awful handwriting. This is another reason I am doing bullet journaling this year. I'm hoping that by the time the end of the year hits, I can look back at the beginning of my journal and see how much progress I've made on having actually legible handwriting, but we'll see how that goes. Here I'm just kind of scanning through the 3-act story structure so you guys can check that out, but you can find all of this information online. And then the 8-point plot arc, just kind of all of the different sections of the story broken down to be a little bit more specific than the 3-act structure. And then flipping ahead, I am super excited about this section. I wrote down the entirety of the master outline from betternovelproject.com. So this is the hybrid outline that takes different plot points from Twilight, Hunger Games, and Harry Potter, kind of showing you what all three of these stories have in common. There are 21 different chapters, each in varying lengths, but basically just showing you some of the things you want to have happen in your stories to kind of mimic the non-stop action moments of some of these mega hits. It is something I have always wanted to use in writing my future stories, and it was a lot of fun to copy it out, especially being able to use all of these pretty colors, so I know I will enjoy looking back at it as time goes on. I'm hoping I'll be able to use this a lot. You can find all of this information and a lot more of it on betternovelproject.com. They go in depth on a bunch of the different characters and the plot points and just all of the things you want to have happen. And then on the next page here, I have just some standard plot archetypes that I might want to use when I'm brainstorming future ideas. Basically, in this resource section, I just put all of these things that would help get me inspired and help me to focus in on my goal of better outlining in 2018, because that is a skill I want to be able to improve on throughout the year. This next section is all about the Myers-Briggs personality types. I wrote down just kind of basic ideas for what the different types are to kind of give me ideas for different characters. I'm not entirely sure where this particular list of the descriptions came from, but I did get a lot of my inspiration for this bullet journal from another super popular bullet journaler's NaNoWriMo bullet journal, so I will leave a link to that video in the description down below so you can see how she did it with much better handwriting. The whole thing was so much prettier than anything I was able to come up with, but I did love the idea, and I figured I could make it a full-on writing journey author bullet journal. So we'll see how that goes. This is some more breakdowns of the Myers-Briggs personality types, just kind of going more in depth on different actual personality traits rather than an overarching kind of character that each person in each group is. Developing characters is another thing I'm hoping to work on throughout 2018, so I figured this might be a nice jumping off point for kind of giving me a starting point for some of the characters I want to work on. I am hoping to add more character development resources to my bullet journal going forward. Here I also included a character alignment chart based on the Dungeons and Dragons systems, but kind of expanded to have more types of characters. And then on the side, I wrote down a list of things to add more conflict to your story. The top quote is one I'm sure you guys have seen a few times on the WordNerd channel, which is, "Give your protagonist two motives. They must sacrifice one to achieve the other." The rest are just other things I found online from these same resources and just wanted to copy and have at my fingertips whenever I need a reminder. And yeah, that's basically it. Those are all of the resources that I have at the beginning of my bullet journal. If you guys think you have any other ideas for things I could throw in there, I would love to hear them. This next page is the beginning of my January section. Again, my handwriting is terrible, but I promise you guys I am working on it. If you guys have your own bullet journals, either for writing or otherwise, and have some favorite spreads, I'd love to see them. I am absolutely obsessed right now, and if you haven't seen bullet journals before, I would recommend looking a little more into them because they are a lot of fun, a great creative outlet, and really you can do anything you want with them. That's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to join us on Sunday for our next live chat where we will be talking about plot twists, so I'm sure that will be a lot of fun. In the meantime, happy reading, happy writing, and I'll see you next time.